Hey everybody, it is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Wednesday, January 2nd, 2020. First time I've said 2020, I think, in a date. So we are in the first trading day of the year, and we are in the final trading hour of the day. Just real quick, I do mention this each day, but in my opinion, the most valid prices to make your buying and selling decisions from are the prices that are as close as you can get them to the close of the day. During the day, we have the algorithms, we have the day traders moving things around. I consider it a lot of noise. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions, the market makers come in and move the price to what, again, in my opinion, is the most valid price of the day. They come in with size, they have the best research, they have the best technology, and they move that price at the end of the day. And I would rather base my buying and selling decisions upon the large financial institutions making changes in the price than just intraday noise with algorithms and day traders. So anyway, thank you all for coming. I really do appreciate it. And we're in the first trading day of the year, and I hope that we can all we've all made commitments to having a great trading year. And when I say great trading year, I don't necessarily mean making a lot of money, but what I mean is by having a plan, following your plan, win, lose, or show, right? So it's important that you focus on the process, not on the profit and loss. So I hope we can all do that. I hope we can make a commitment to that, and that we'll have a good year at the very least, because we're following our process. So, hey, Dr. Long is here. Good to see you, my friend. And I've been meaning to ask you, I think you had a good trade on IBB, right? I think you bought those puts with 1 day to go, and I saw the next day it went down. So thank you for coming, Doc. I appreciate it. And Evan, nice to see you. Thank you for coming by. I hope you had a good New Year's Day. And Dirk, hello, everybody. Happy 2020. Happy 2020 to you too, Dirk, as well. Great seeing you, my friend. Appreciate you coming. And Steve Burns, hey, buddy, what's going on? Thank you so much for coming. Always an honor to have you here. I'm always excited to have you here. I know everyone else is. Steve says, nice start for my U-Pro buy. The close, sell the open trade at 1.59% gain. I know, Steve. I watched your weekly video newsletter last night, and I saw on there that you discussed this approach, and thanks for giving me a little plug on there. I do appreciate that. But for those of you who don't know, Steve is going to start using the overnight SPY trade, but instead of using the SPY trade, he is going to be basing it upon the U-Pro, which is 3 times leverage. So actually, Steve had some statistics that he sent that I'm going to show everyone. How the U-Pro and how the SSO also performed over since the beginning, that when they came out, and then compared to the SPY. So I saw that, Steve. Welcome to the overnight SPY trade, or overnight SPY trade equivalent. Whenever people ask what you do, I say, well, I trade stocks. They're like, oh, you're a day trader? I'm like, no, I'm not a day trader, but I guess honestly we can say we're an overnight trader now, right, Steve? We can kind of blow people's minds. Are you a day trader? No, I'm just an overnight trader. And essentially, when you're buying and selling the SPY, buying the close and selling the open, that's what you are. Chris Knight, hey Chris, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming, and good evening to you too. Dr. Long says, I bought them all today with a 118 handle. Very fortunate. Oh. You bought them today with a 118 handle. You bought the puts or you bought calls? Hey Marco, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming from and visiting us from Slovenia. Hope you're having a good evening. Marco says, great U-Pro idea. Yes, that is true. And like I said, I'm going to share Steve's results there. Steve says, thanks for being the first to take it live, Greg. Well, you are welcome. It did make sense to me. The overnight SPY trade does make sense. People at the end of the day are going to sell, right? Might drive it down a little bit. And like you said, Tom Basso said, well, you get rewarded in trading by taking on risk. And when you take a position overnight, you're taking on risk, right? And that's why you're probably getting rewarded for that by doing that. And then overnight, nothing happens. People come in, they buy again, and that's, I think why that approach works out. JT, hey buddy, good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you coming. Hope you had a good New Year's. Clarence speaks. Hey Greg and everyone. Hey Jess, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming, and hope you had a good New Year's as well. So, all right. Well, the plan for today, as usual, first of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. When I get done that, I'm going to take a look at my current positions, why I bought them, when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. Except in this case, I did not have any positions. I went completely flat the last day of the year, and so I have not bought anything, so I am completely flat. So there's nothing to go over, although I will be going over the SPY, because normally I would have taken that, and and that will be a good time for me to show Steve's results on the U-Pro and the SSO and so forth and so on. So, and then after that, we're going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. I always hit you guys over the head with this every day, but listen, it's important to learn how to trade. It's important to learn about support and resistance levels. No doubt about it. It is extremely important how to get in, how to get out. But learning all of that just helps you put together a plan. The more important part is after you have a plan, following the plan. And if you can't follow the plan, you're really in trouble. And so, think of having the discipline to follow your plan as a skill. Yes, you may have skills as a chart reader, but do you have skills as far as following your plan? Equally as important, and actually, in my opinion, more important. So we're going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. Then we're going to go through my watch list, each stock in my watch list one by one. We're going to take a look at support levels, resistance levels. We're going to look at indicators such as MACD, RSI, moving averages, ATR channels. And the way that I view trading is I look at all these potential indicators as potential groups of buyers. And if you want to buy a stock, if you want to put yourself in the best position to have a profitable trade, you want to be in the company as many buyers as possible. So if I see one indicator triggering, I look at that as one group of buyers coming in. But if I see a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up at the same time, I look at that as different, and a combination and different group of buyers all coming in together, and that will put you in the best position to have a profitable trade. So step one, I like to look for a confluence of indicators lining up at the same price, so I have as many possible groups of buyers as possible. Secondly, give me one sec. Here we go. Okay, sorry about that. Secondly, after you have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up, you have to analyze the risk to reward ratio. You could have some really good confluences of signals, but based upon your filters of how you look at support and resistance, you may not have a good risk to reward ratio depending on how high the RSI level is or how high it is in the ATR channels. So it's important that you analyze your risk to reward. If I'm risking $100, I want to make sure I have the ability to at least make $200 based upon a realistic resistance level above me compared to the support level below me. So step one, confluence or combination of indicators. Step two, look for a good risk to reward ratio. Make sure you have that available. Step three, make sure you do not have too many correlated positions. You don't want 3 or 4 or 5 technology positions, because if the market goes down, they're most likely all going to go down together. So I like to have a nice variety of positions, different industries, different sectors, maybe healthcare, maybe some tech, maybe some autos, right? And then you can even go outside and look for something outside of equities like oil or gold or silver or bonds. So 3 steps. 1, look for a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up. Step 2, make sure you have a good risk to reward ratio. Step 3, make sure you do not have too many correlated positions. And that's what I will look for. So we'll go through each stock one by one. I'll see if I can find something that fits all 3 criteria. And if I do, I'll go ahead and buy that at the end of the day. If not, I'll just wait till I get until I get something that qualifies, right? So anyway, then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me whatsoever, please let me know. Feel free to type them in the chat. If you'd like me to take a look at any symbols, I'm happy to do that and break down the chart, give you my humble opinion. If you do see a setup that you think would be interesting or helpful for the group, please let me know. put it in the chat. If you'd like me to take a look at it before the market closes, please put an asterisk or a star by it so I know that it's time sensitive. So that is the plan for today. That is the plan for today. So if you could be so kind and hold tight, I'm going to go ahead and run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Alrighty, thanks for holding through that with me. Dr. Long says, bought all my shorts at 118.94, still have 50% of silver and those gold calls. Oh, good. I think they will take out stops above 147 in gold and 34 in AGQ. Well, I'm glad to see you still have gold and silver, Doc. That's fantastic. And man, Solo, hey buddy, what's going on? Happy New Year's, Greg and folks. Happy New Year's to you, and I'm looking forward to our lesson tonight. I'm on Solo. Dr. Long says, I listened to Tuesday podcast late. I traded futures since 1980 in London and Chicago on their floors. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I felt like you definitely had some experience for sure. Steve says, this is the most overbought I ever remember. The markets going back to the early 1990s when I started. It has been more overbought. If it had been more overbought, I missed it. Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of, the 1999s. It's extremely overbought. It's unbelievable. I don't really know what to make of it. And, last year was definitely a trend followers year, not so much a traders year. But this doesn't always happen. Right. I mean, I read a report about how a lot of hedge funds are going out of business because buy and hold has just been beating hedge funds. And they don't have the, expenses that, the indexes don't have the expenses that the hedge funds have. And so I understand it, but whether it's going to continue like this for years, I have no idea. My gut is it's not. It just seems too easy, but again, that's just an opinion of mine. And as Frank says, my opinion is none of my business when it comes to trading. I'm just going to follow my rules, look for my setups the way that I need them to qualify. And if I have them, I'll take them. And if not, I won't take them, and if it just keeps moving up without me, well, that's just how it goes. So, all right. Hey, Alan, good to see you. Happy New Year's to you. Thanks for coming. Frank says, hi, Greg and all. Oh, a poem. Sweet. I love poems from Frank. Better to be lucky than good is an expression so misunderstood. For the better you will get a whatever you do, the more lady luck will smile on you. Oh, I read that horribly. A poem. Better to be lucky than good is an expression so misunderstood. For the better you will get at whatever, do the more lady luck will smile on you. Very nice, Frank. I'm going to post that if you don't mind. Dr. Long says, 1985 put in the low on January 4th. Oh, is that right? All right. Well, listen, like I said, I don't have any positions, but I do want to show you what the overnight SPY did. I didn't take it just because it was the last day of the year and I wanted to go completely flat. Obviously, you guys know that I take this every day. So if I had taken this on for Tuesday, would have bought it right here at about 322.33, and look at this beautiful gap up here, 323.53. So fantastic. And so I did want to show you, well, let me talk about this real quick, and then I'll show you Steve's. The overnight SPY trade, I normally do take it every single day. I sell it first thing the next morning. This is a back test, long-term back test study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke on Vest. And with this back test, they tested two approaches. Approach number one was buying the SPY at the open each day, selling at the close each day. Buy the open, sell the close. If you would have used this approach every day from 1993, you'd have lost a negative 13.9% return for all your troubles. However, if you use the second approach, which is what I use every day, buy the SPY at the close instead of the open, and sell it the next morning instead of the close of the day. So buy the close, sell the next morning, buy the close, sell the next morning. If you would have used this approach every day since 1993, you'd actually return a positive 634.2% return. So past performance is no guarantee of future results. That is true, and that goes for any trading approach. We never know what's going to happen, but all we can do is allocate capital to something that is back-tested better in the past. I'd rather allocate capital to something that has a good track record that has a bad track record. But you can see here's the blue line. This is the buy in the morning. I'm sorry, buy in the afternoon, sell in the next morning. The orange line's the buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon. Huge difference. I like this chart because it shows if you have an edge, whatever your trading approach edge is, that over time, if you have an edge, it can be very profitable for you. In between, you have ups and downs. This is just normal. It doesn't mean the system's bad, doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It just means that there's normal fluctuation. So now this was based upon using the SPY, right? Negative 13, buy at the open, sell at the close, buying at the close, selling the next open, a positive 634.2% return. We've had some people ask, hey, would this work on the SSO? Would this work on the UPRO? And Steve was nice enough to run all these numbers. And this is the SSO. This is the double leverage SPY. And you can see, so Steve did all these numbers by himself. I don't know what the total is here. Maybe I didn't do the screenshot correctly. But look at these numbers. This is SSO, 2006, 10% return. 2007, 21.6. 2008 had a small losing, 9%. 2009, 25. 2010, 15. 2011, 12. 2012, 14. 2013, 29. 2014, 21. 2015, 7. 2016 had a small loss of 3%. 2017, 20.88%. 18. 24.39, in 2019, 24.33%. So, you know, I've had people ask me, does SSO work instead of SPY? And from the back test, it certainly did. And then Steve, did I not get that one? Okay. And then Steve also did the back test on the UPRO, which is the 3 times leveraged. And, you know, it only came out in 2009, but look at this, 43%, 26%, 7%, 25%, 58, 30, 6%, one losing year here, a little losing year of 7%, 48% in 2017, 29% in 2018. And this was a partial year for 2019 because Steve did this back test a long time ago. I'm sure if you saw the final results for 2019, this would be extremely positive as well. So Steve is now buying the UPRO each day at the end of the day, selling the first morning. That's one approach. Second approach, you could use also the SSO, which is double leveraged, but I'm kind of conservative, so I'm going to stick with just the regular SPY. So anyway, I will be buying the S&P 500 today at the close as normal going forward and selling it first thing the next morning. So glad to have Steve doing this trade with us, or doing this trade with me. And so yeah, had a really good start to the year today, Steve. So congratulations. So that is it as far as my current positions, although some of you had some current positions. And let's take a look at this. So a man solo bought Comcast back here on the 19th of December. This nice V2 entry with the bounce off the 200-day. This has moved up nicely. It has got quite extended. We were kind of looking for a close below the previous day's low, but we haven't got there yet. So I think Amon Solo probably still has this. As far as how to manage this going forward, if it were me, if I had a close below the previous day's low, I would lock in profits on this. If I rejected the third ATR channel up here, I might consider that a reason to get out. Or if it rejected the 70 RSI above, I might also use that as a reason to get out. One second. Here you go. Hey. Here we go. All right, so that's CMCSA for Comcast, but that's a great trade. I mean, nice combination of a V2, bounce off the 200-day moving average into value zone, and that's been a really nice trade so far. What is that percentage-wise? 3.37, pretty nice, pretty nice. So let's see what else we have. All right, Aman Solo also took LOVE, symbol LOVE, back here on the 23rd of December. We had this higher low V2. Here we are beneath the 1 ATR channel. We come back in the value zone. We have a couple days down. We get triggered with the V2 entry. MACD was positive, over 50 RSI, and this has been a really nice mover. Now, today, it's down quite a bit, 5%. But this company moves a lot. So I'm not, this isn't particularly bullish. We had a V1 to the downside. We didn't quite reject the 100-day moving average. So, in this case scenario, if I have this stock, I would probably use either a close below the previous day's low or possibly get out today, right? This is quite a big reversal bar here, but I don't know if Aman Solo has been taking any profits on the way up. Of course, the way I trade, I would be taking profits on the way up, but I'm not sure Aman Solo's doing that on this. Maybe he told me, but I can't remember. So anyway, be interesting to see what Aman Solo's plan is with that. Mount Doji. Mount Doji did buy Builder's First Source back here on the 24th of December. Nice bullish engulfing candle, V1. Has moved up today, though. It looks like it's gone under his entry, and it looks like it might close under the previous day's low. So if I took this trade, I'd probably be getting out here and locking in a small loss. But it'd be interesting to see what how Mount Doji is going to handle that. Evan. So Evan took, this was a nice setup, nice V1, rejection of the previous low of this range. Bought this back on the 30th of December, moved up initially, up again higher today, but you can see if I would have taken this trade, I would have used a stop below halfway of this washout bar. Well, look exactly where it found support. Look at that, almost to the penny. So if I were taking this trade, I would probably get out, or if I had this trade, I would probably get out with a close below this day's 50% mark if it closed below halfway of this 50. But let us know how you're going to handle that, Evan. Bing He, so glad to see this. Look at this nice. So Bing He took DRI, Darden Restaurants, back here on the 30th of December. We had this nice V2. False breakout of the previous range. So here's the previous range. See how we poked our head down for one day? People didn't like it down there. No more sellers, and we came right back up. So it's a false breakout to the downside and a V2. He bought it here at 108.72. Up nicely today, 2.6%. Up at 111.84. So congratulations, Bing He. 46.74 RSI. If I were in this trade and we rejected the 50 RSI, I would get out. If it held over the 50, I would hold it unless it closed back below. If it holds over the 50 and then gets rejected by the 50-day moving average, I would lock in my profits there as well. But really glad to see Bing He have this nice trade here. Okay, Evan. So Evan took this V2 Tuesday on DD. We had this V1 entry here. MACD was positive, gapped up nicely, but now it has reversed. Right here, this red line is the halfway of the washout bar. This was the washout bar back on the 31st. So let me know what you're going to do with that, Evan. If I was trading this, I might consider just getting out of this today with this huge V1 reversal bar here, or you could also wait for a close under the halfway of this bar. So let me know how you're planning on handling that trade. And then Zoom. So Evan did buy Zoom back here on the 31st. Had this higher low V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 2, washed out day 1. On the day that he bought it, it triggered the V2, also closed above all the moving averages, closed above the 50, closed above the 50-day moving average, and this one has moved up pretty nicely for him, about 1%. So let me know how you're going to manage that. If it were me, I would use a close below the halfway of this washout bar. If we got it extended a little bit more, I would probably start trailing my stop with the close below the previous day's low, but I don't think it's quite got extended enough away from my entry for me to do this at this point. And that's it. So some good trades, some ones that have gone against, but that's how it goes. But really glad to see Bing He have this really, really nice trade here. All right. Hey, Mount Doji, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Just talked about your trade there. Frank says, thank you, Steve. That's an honor. It is an honor to have Steve post whatever you come up with. And I love these poems that Frank's coming up with. Dr. Long says, dates usually put in top January through March, like in 2000, 2001. Ah, yeah, that's about where the tops were. Steve says, I did not total the SSO. Okay, so I didn't take the snapshot incorrectly. So, but we can see from the SSO that it still had unbelievable results. Will it in the future? Of course, we don't know that, right? But it does have good results in the past. And again, I'd rather put money into something that has a good track record than something that doesn't. A man solo stopped out of love today at halfway point on the previous bar. Oh, that's right. We talked about that. I think that's good. This is a fairly big bar. It looks like we're closed. So good. So, you know, you locked in some profit. I don't know exactly how much, but probably close to 8%, even with this big move down today. So very nice trade. Steve says, my gold trade is up 3.54%. I know, that just keeps on moving, huh? Mansell, oh, okay. My KMX trade is up 1.29% after one day. I know, I saw that, and I saw that you took that, so that is up nicely, Steve. Way to go. Good job. And I know you bought that from the Keltner channel. Your Keltner channels are a little bit different than mine, but you know, everyone's might be a little bit different. The point is, you know, Steve saw it go under the third ATR channel, over to the third ATR channel, had formed a little bit of a base and good risk to reward ratio, and it made sense. Jesse said, what was the overnight SPY trade for just 2019? Sorry if you already mentioned it. I don't have that, Jess, on just the, for the regular overnight SPY trade. I don't have that. However, well, I guess we can kind of do it this way. So 2019 on the SSO was 24.33%. So it's 2 times leverage. So a good guess would be about half of this, right? 12.15%. I think is how I would figure that out, because SSO for 2019, Steve just did these numbers, were 24.33. And I think that's about right. Although mine's a little higher, but I didn't start till February 26th, so I think I missed out on some losses in January and February. So I would say about 12.5%, Jess. JT says, over 40 viewers today. That's great. That's fantastic. Dr. Long says, TLT looking V2-ish. All right, we'll look at that. Evan says, those 3 positions of mine you mentioned all hit one profit target today before dropping. I will be getting out of MCD, but not sure about DD. So you're getting out of MCD. Okay, good. And DD, you're going to make a game time decision. Okay. Steve says 12.39% return on SPY by the close. Oh, okay. So I was pretty close. I said 12.5. So that's good. Thanks, Steve. Clarence says, I think my data is adjusted for dividends. That might be causing a variance. Okay. All righty. So listen, this is the time of the day where I do like to talk about trader psychology. There's some really good Twitter channels out there, Facebook channels out there that spend a lot of time and effort, burn a lot of calories, and putting out good words of wisdom, good trading tips and tricks, and hacks and things for us to read. And one of the best out there, of course, is our good friend Steve Burns. This is a Facebook post, not a Twitter post, but I imagine he posted this on Twitter as well. But if you guys haven't subscribed to Steve on Twitter, please do so at @SJosephBurns on Twitter, and then you can also subscribe to him on Facebook under the New Traders, Rich Traders page. But Steve says, no matter how good you think you can read a chart, without proper risk management, you will eventually blow up. And it's so true, everybody. It does not matter how good of a chart reader you are, because even if you're the best chart reader in the world, you're going to be wrong, right? And that's where risk management comes up. You have to have risk management. You could be accurate 99.99% of your trades and still have a whopping huge loser on that one trade that you weren't right on. So it's so important, everybody, to have good risk management. And the way to do that, try to enter your positions as close as you can to support. Position size correctly. I use a 10% position size. If you close on the other side of that support, just get out, take that small loss. So, but risk management is twofold, right? Getting as close as you can to your line in the sand or your stop. The closer the better, because of course it gives you a better risk to reward ratio, and then using a conservative position size. So no matter how good you think you can read a chart, without proper risk management, you will eventually blow up. So that also reminds me, I've talked about Dr. Alexander Elder before because I have studied with him one-on-one, and this is a great YouTube, a little bit of a Cliff's Note version done by the Swedish investor, but Dr. Alexander Elder has a book called Trading for a Living, and this is a little 13-minute Cliff Notes version of that book. And I listened to this last night, and I'm going to share this in the chat right here in case you guys would like to go to YouTube and check it out. But, Dr. Alexander Elder, in the book, and this kind of goes back to Steve's post, but there are 3 pillars in trading, right? You have to have 3 pillars. The first pillar is psychology. Of course, I always talk about that. It is so important. The second is market analysis and trading systems, right? So you have to have the right psychology. You have to definitely analyze the market and have a good trading system. And then the third pillar is money management. So you have to have all 3 of these. You have to have the proper psychology, following your plan. You have to be able to analyze the market and the charts and come up with a good trading system. And third, you have to have money management. So these 3 things are very important. Without one of these, you're dead, right? Just like Steve's post that I just put up here, right? No matter how good you think you can read a chart, without proper risk management, you will blow up. Well, that's one of the 3 pillars, right? Market analysis, that's reading charts. You might have the right psychology, but without the right risk management or money management, it doesn't work. So it's like a stool. It has 3 legs. As long as you have 3 legs, the stool is going to stand up. But if you remove one of them, even one of these, you can have great psychology and great money management, but if you don't have good market analysis and trading systems, you're in trouble, right? So you have to have all 3 of these. But I posted this here. This is really good. It's a quick listen to, 13 minutes, but because I did study with Dr. Elder one-on-one, when I listened to this, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this, I remember that, oh, he's right about this. So I think it would be worth your time. And then this is Dr. Alexander, very famous book, Trading for a Living. After reading this book, this is how I got a hold of Dr. Alexander Elder and asked him to be my mentor. But this is free on YouTube. It's 3 hours, something like that. Yeah, almost exactly 3 hours. So it is free. So I am also going to put the YouTube link there in case you would like to look at it. And look at this on the front cover: psychology, trading tactics, and money management. Well, these are the 3 pillars, right? You have to have the right trading, the right psychology, right trading tactics, and money management. So I did learn a lot from Dr. Alexander Elder for sure. So, all right. So that's that. And thank you, Steve, for that great post. Appreciate it. All right. Bing He, good to see you, my friend. So glad to see this moving up nicely for you today, right? DRI, fantastic, nice entry, false breakout, V2 to the upside, nice big bar. I don't think Bing He takes profits, so let's make sure we have some kind of plan. It's at 47.45 right now. If it rejected the 50, I would probably pull the trigger and lock in the profits, but really glad you had that. Hey, Kirk, good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming by. Hope you had a good New Year's Day. Steve says, short sellers learned a lot about risk management this year and how important their opinions and predictions really are. Oh man, is that true? I've been bearish this whole time. I think you guys know this, right? That's been my opinion. I've been bearish the whole time. Completely wrong. Can you imagine if I, gone all in on my prediction and went heavy short? Oh my goodness. Like I said, it's okay to have an opinion. We're human, we're going to have them. But when it comes to trading, have your opinions, but don't let them influence. Just take the setups as you have them. Okay. So, I'll tell you what. This has been pretty short here because I didn't have any positions. But like I said, I will be buying the SPY at the end of the day for sure here, and then selling it first thing tomorrow morning. Well, let's go through the charts. Apple, $299.49. Boy, that $300 price level is just like a magnet. This thing's up 5.82% today. Unbelievable. I mean, I've been wanting to buy Apple. My filters have not let me buy. Just too high in the channel. RSI is too high. No dips. I've been waiting for a dip forever, and Apple does not care. It just keeps motoring up. But this is a good example of at least, I followed my plan. I didn't sacrifice my trading morals because I had an opinion. I mean, obviously, of course, I wish I would have loaded up on Apple, but this happens very rarely. And I might point out, generals tend to always fight the last war, meaning that they come up with plans based upon what happened in the last war. Same thing with trading. Okay, we've had this huge move up. A lot of people are going to think, you know what, I'm going to change my trading style around a little bit to give it more room. Maybe not look at RSI levels now, because if I would have done that last time, I would have done really great. But don't do that. Don't think what's coming in the future is going to be exactly what the past was, right? So, if things are really, really choppy, people might think, ooh, I'm going to lower my profit targets. Well, don't do that either, because you don't know in the future it might run. So keep steady. Don't base your trading approach on just what happened in the last short run here, right? So anyway, Apple, be interesting to see if $300 was it, or if that's going to be it. But for me, I need to pull back into the value zone in between the 1 and the -1 ATR channel. So those of you who have Apple, congratulations. I know a few people that have big positions in Apple. They are doing extremely well. So congratulations. We're at 84.30 RSI. It's unbelievable. Adobe, not as high as Apple, but still high above the 1 ATR channel, third ATR channel. Need to pull back into the value zone before I can get interested in this trade. Amazon having a big day today, really big day. Can't buy anything up here. It's just too high. I did buy Amazon back here when it was more reasonably priced with a close over the 250-day. This is a good long-term back-tested system to trading Amazon. If it closes under the 250, I take a small loss. If it starts to trend, then that's fortunate to me, gives me a good risk reward ratio. So I did buy it here, move sideways, and then up, and then up, and then I did get out. I phased all the way out to here, phased out here near the top, and then closed here. So I did lock in my profits, but that was a great trade. I was waiting for it to come back down into the value zone, and it did come down. It looked like it was a great place to exit, but now it's taken off again. But it's 71 RSI. I just can't get involved. I just need to pull back into value, or the 5 EMA cross under the 50 EMA. Boeing. So here we have a V2, but I do want to point out, this is a small nuance. This is a V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 2 washes out day 1, day 3 closes above day 1. But you see the gap that happened between day 2 and day 3. If you have a gap like this, larger than 1 ATR, larger than 1/4 of an ATR, and it doesn't fill, then that does not allow me to take that. So actually is a lower low though. It is a lower low V2. Here's this low, this was lower. So nothing on Boeing. Here we're under the negative 1 ATR channel. I want to see this come back in. People that bought here are going to have their finger on the trigger if it starts to get weak up here, and that will probably cause it to come down a day or two. Then I would look for a higher low V1 or V2. That is where I would be looking to buy Boeing, or if we go under 30, over 30 to the downside. Berkshire Hathaway, very strong, just need to pull back into value. Beyond Meat up a little bit today. Nothing here though. Caterpillar, very strong. Looks like it broke out up into a new range here. It's too high, 63, need a pullback. Dow Jones looks like it's made an all-time high. Again, I just need a pullback. I can't buy at these levels. I need a pullback here, at least to the value zone. Walt Disney, boy, look at that. Look at that. I was looking down here. I wanted to buy Disney when we came to about halfway of this huge washout bar. Never quite got there, took off without me. Now we have a 520 cross, but one thing about ETF replay I can just go and test it. How does Disney work with a 520 EMA crossover? Well, let's look. Not so good. Only 64.2% return compared to 411% buy and hold. And this is one of the very few cases where the drawdown is actually larger than the buy and hold. So with this information, doesn't mean this can't continue to move up, but we do have a 520 EMA crossover, but based upon the back test, I'm not going to take this trade. Etsy, need to pull back into value. Facebook, pull back into value. Gold doing really great today, holding above the 70 RSI. Too high for me to buy here. I just talked about a 520 crossover. The 520 EMA crossover on gold does backtest well, unlike Disney. I did buy this back here on the 13th and moved sideways for a while, and then had a great trade. I got out of gold, all of gold, yesterday or Tuesday at the end of the day, when I basically ran out of shares essentially. So Steve, really great trade. I know you still have that. I imagine Steve's going to keep that until it closes under the 70 or we get some kind of volatile downside. And Dr. Long has it as well. So congratulations, guys. Google, I was waiting for it to come back into the value zone. It did come back in. Doesn't look like it triggered a V1, but I wouldn't take in this V1 anyway because day one's bar was larger than 1 ATR and we didn't have any sideways movement. But in this case, it didn't care and took right off again, so I can't buy Google up here. Goldman Sachs, another big day. It looks like it broke out too high. Need to pull back into the value zone. Home Depot up a little bit today. We were above the 1 ATR channel. We are back down into the value zone. If I could get this to move sideways for a couple days and look for a V1 or V2. Or bounce off the 200 if it keeps going lower would be a good place also. Here's IBB. Is down. It came down into the value zone, held steady for one day. I was looking for one more day of going sideways into V1 or V2, but this is now going lower. So nothing here. The only thing going forward here is if it continued to hold steady, stay within the value zone, and then a V1 or V2. But this big bar pushes things off for a day or so. Intel, just too high, need to pull back into value. Russell 2000 is down today. Interesting. So I would be looking for, we're now in the value zone. Wanted to come down deeper in the value zone, hold tight, move sideways, stop going down, then look for a V1 or a V2 entry. So essentially looking to buy this dip. Johnson & Johnson, just too high, need to pull back into value. CarMax, this is Steve's trade that he bought on Tuesday right here. On his charts, it went under the third ATR Keltner channel and back over. Mine are set up a little bit different than him, but he's had a great trade, so congratulations. It's over 30. It went under 30, over 30. So technically I could buy this here. I'm not going to buy this here because that's all we have is the under 30, over 30. If we had a double bottom or if we had a false breakout, something like that, then I might consider it, but I'm going to let this one go. Coca-Cola, just need to pull back into value, sideways movement. Lockheed Martin, look at this V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 2. Washes out day 1, day 3. Closes above day 1's close, but it's too high. I can't take a V1 or a V2 when it's above the 1 ATR channel. Anything above this 1 ATR channel, I considered overvalue. When I buy, I want to buy in value or lower. MasterCard, looks like it broke out to a new high here. Same, need to pull back into the value zone. McDonald's, look at that. Big day up there. Has a 200-day moving average up here to contend with. So we'll see how it reacts around there. But for me, I need to pull back into value. Merck, nice V1, but it's triggering too high. It's triggering above 1 ATR channel. So in this case, I don't think it offers a good risk to reward ratio. From a technical standpoint, this is probably your resistance. Your stop's probably here. So you actually would have more of a potential loss than you would a theoretical profit target. Microsoft up today. Looks like it made a new high, too high. Need to pull back into value. Netflix, so, you know, look, we were above the 200-day moving average, closed under the 200-day moving average. Now we've closed back over. Does this back test well? It does. It does back test well underneath the 200, over the 200. However, my filters do not allow me to take this. It's right up here at the second ATR channel. We have the third ATR channel right above. At the very best, I think it gives like a 1-to-1 risk to reward, so I am going to pass on Netflix. Nike, very strong, need to pull back into value. Philip Morris, looking for this pullback into value. We've had 1 day in the value zone, 2 days in the value zone. If it could come down a little deeper, move sideways a little bit more, I could go for a V1 or a V2. This is a good example of, you know, very similar. Here we were above the 1 ATR channel. I needed it to pull back into the value. It did. It held the value zone. It moved sideways. Then I took this trade here, and you can see this was a great trade. Well, this looks similar now, right? Above the 1 ATR channel, I needed to come down into the value zone just like it did over here, move sideways, and then look for another V1 or V2 entry. So nothing there. PayPal really strong, just too high for me though. I can't buy it here, unfortunately. Q's, looks like it made a new high today, 77 RSI, just too high for me to get involved. Silver, up today, about close to 1%. I did buy silver back here when we had the 520 EMA cross, and it was a monster trade. Just boom, 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 boom. I ran out of shares right here. So going forward, need to pull back into value or the 5 EMA to cross up under the 20 EMI and then back over. S&P, of course, had that nice overnight SPY trade. I didn't take it personally, but if, you know, normally I would have, but it's a bummer I missed out on that. That's a great overnight SPY trade. TLT. Yeah, we do have a V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Looks like day 3 is going to close above day 1. But see the huge gap? See the huge gap that formed the V2? If I have a gap from day 2 to day 3 that's larger than 1/4 of an ATR, I cannot take the trade because these gaps tend to get filled a lot of the time. And that's why they're like magnets to get filmed because they haven't tested the price here. And untested prices like to get tested. So that's why I could not buy this. One, it didn't wash out day 1. Day 2 did not wash out day 1 very well. And day 3 did trigger the V2, but this huge gap. So I have to let that one go. Tesla up again today. Need to pull back into value. Twitter, need to pull back into value. United Healthcare. Oh, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for it to pull back into value. It finally dipped its head into the value zone. So if we could now move sideways, then get a V1, V2. That's what I would be looking for. Oil, it's been above the 1 ATR channel. Need to pull back into the value zone. VIX, I did get out of VIX here on Tuesday. I bought it here with this V1, rejection of the 30 RSI, rejection of the third ATR channel, and a false breakout from this previous low. Moved sideways, then we had a couple really nice days. Luckily, I did phase out here, then I got out yesterday or Tuesday when we had the close below the previous day's close. So it looks like that was a good place for me to get out, and it still was a profitable trade even with that down day because I had scaled out here on the big days up. So we do have a double bottom with the bullish divergence. Here's a low. We go high. Now we're equal to or lower than this previous low. Here's the deep red bars. Now we're lower. No red bars whatsoever. So this is a bullish signal. Setup doesn't mean to buy it. You still need a trigger, but we have a bottom, a rally, a lower low, no red bars. This is called the double bottom with the bullish divergence. I learned this from Dr. Alexander Elder. What's the trigger? The trigger would be an under 30, over 30, and if it did, I would take another position in VIX. Verizon, above the 1 ATR channel, in the value zone, moving sideways. This is good. So this would set up for a potential dip buy if we had a V1 or a V2. Walmart, above the 1 ATR channel, into the value zone, moving sideways. Everything I needed, everything I wanted. We had a breakdown. Here's day 1, day 2. Day 2 washed out day 1, but this would need to close. This third day would need to close above day 1's close. So earlier in the day it had triggered, but I wait till the end of the day to see if it confirms. But this is perfect example of above the 1 ATR channel, into the value zone, finding some support. One day of false breakout to the downside, but I would have bought this for sure with this setup, but this does not look like it's going to close above day 1's close, so it doesn't count. All right, energy. Nothing there. Financial sector, pull back into the value zone is what I'm looking for. Real estate, look at this huge rejection of the 100-day moving average. V1 to the downside, rejection of the 100-day moving average, bearish engulfing to the downside, loss of the 50 RSI. This is all quite bearish. I'm not going to short this. But we're above the 1 ATR channel. We're back into the ATR channel, back into the value zone. I would look for this to go sideways, hold support, look for a V1 or a V2. Utilities also got whooped up on here today. We made a lower high, but now we have washed out this previous low. So some sidewards movement here. Then I could look for a V1 or a V2. And healthcare. So we're way above the value zone. We finally came into the value zone. We've held steady. So I could be looking for a V1 or a V2 here. So with that said, everybody, I did not see anything to buy again today. So other than the S&P 500, I will be buying that at the end of the day. So let's take a look and see if you guys have anything that might be interesting to look at. Dr. Long says BA is 50% of the lowest washout. BA is 50% of the lowest washout. Not sure I understand that. I am really, I like Boeing. I'm really looking for an entry in Boeing, but I have to wait for the entry. Steve says 50 viewers today, one at one time, new record. Oh, really? That's awesome. What a great way to start the year. Thanks for letting me know, Steve. Bill Richardson says, what app did you just use to show that back test on Disney? I actually entered Disney when it looked like it was trying to test the 50 on 1230, 1231, entered on 1231. Good trade, but left profits on the table. I use etfreplay.com, Bill. etfreplay.com. It is a subscription service. It's about $30 a month, but I do find it really helpful. But etfreplay.com. I use this. I know Steve uses this as well. Oops. So you bought it a couple days ago. Excellent. Nice. Christopher says, SPY making new highs. Good to see you, Christopher. Hope you're having a good night. Andrea, hey, how you doing? Hi, all. Trying to listen and work at the same time. Oh, well, thank you, Andrea. Appreciate the effort. Being he says, Schwab looks interesting, but retested its 20 EMA now. SCHW. Yeah, that is fairly interesting. I mean, we were above the one ATR channel. Oh yeah, no, and then we closed below it. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Has a nice V2 here. Concerns me to have these moving averages above here. It's not bad, but it is, it is a lower low V2. Those don't tend to hold as much as higher low V1s or V2s. I would wait for this to come back into the value zone, have a couple days down, and then look for that V1 or V2. Joshua, heck of a day for GE. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I hate to say it. I wish I bought GE right here. Got in it for a couple days, got out when it wasn't doing anything. If I would have seen this on Friday, well, I guess I wouldn't have bought it because I wasn't taking any positions, but this is a beauty. This is a great example of closing under the 1HER channel, into the 1HER channel, having a higher low V1. Look at this, see? Here's the lower. We come up, we have a couple days down, we have a V1. Man, that would have been nice to have taken that trade. What a day for GE. Mount Doji says, thoughts on AMTD? How we doing on time? Ooh. Okay, so under the value zone, back in the value zone. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, it is a lower V1, V2 here, but it washed out this previous low, so it's like a swing trade. Looks pretty good as well, honestly. I mean, it gives a good risk to reward ratio because your stop would be about halfway of this washout bar. So pretty close stop, and you have a lot of upside move. That looks pretty good. Hassan Kasim, hey, how you doing? Can you check PG for me? It bounced off the 50. Let's take a look. I know I'm running out of time. Oh, PG. Yeah, it did bounce off the 50, which is good. For me personally, just that one bounce is probably not enough for me. If I had a V2 tomorrow, this would be day one. Day two washes out day one. If day three closed above day one's close right here in the value zone, that might be interesting. Or if we could move sideways above this 50-day moving average for a while and then have a false breakout to the downside and reversal, have a V1 or V2, that would make me feel more comfortable. But just this one bounce off the 50, I don't think would be enough for me. Hey, gamer, what's going on? Good to see you, David. Joshua says, Apple to 300. Is it there? It is there. Unbelievable. Aman Sola says, I like Sage. Boy, this is an interesting chart, isn't it? I mean, we have a lot of sideways movement here. When did we... Let's see. So a few days ago, we went under 30, over 30. Yeah, not bad. That one concerns me a little bit. Because I didn't get it on the day it went under 30, over 30. But not bad. Back in the value zone. That's good. Tuesday's close was 50% of the washout low. Oh, I see on BA. So, yeah, guys, I don't see anything that I'm going to take today other than the overnight SPY trade. So I may just have to be sitting on my hands here a little bit and waiting for a trade. But that's fine, right? I think that shows trading maturity. You know, don't trade just to trade. You have to have a reason that you're going to be trading. Wow, what a day. The Dow's up 327 points. That's crazy. That is crazy. So I did buy SPY. at 324.87. So that is my only little position. Let's take a look. 324.87. All right. Oof. Boy, that's up there high, isn't it? So I will sell that first thing tomorrow. And congratulations, guys, if you had positive trading day today. I was totally flat. So that's the start to my 2020 trading career. But some of you guys had some good trades here. So it looks like you've made a high for the year. So how did we end up for a man solo? Man solo, Comcast ended up nicely. Love, I think he got out of Love, locked in profits on Love. Mount Doji looks like break even on his builder trade. Evan, not sure what he did there. He'll have to let me know. Bing He had a great trade. Very nice trade, Bing He. Way to go. Up almost 3% today. DD Evan, not sure what Evan did on this one. This reversed. Zoom, Evan had a nice trade on Zoom. And that's that. Oh, Evan says closed MCD. All right, good. Took a small loss on that, but that's the key to trading, right? Taking that small loss. And DD, closed DD. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. And you took a small loss on that. But remember, it's okay to take small losses. It happens. Right? It happens. And as long as you keep them to small losses, you're going to hang, you're going to be okay. It's just when you let big losses come in, get stubborn, that's what really beats up your account. Hey, real quick, I'm going to go over the rest of the comments, and if you have any other questions, let me know. Just want to quickly put in my quick little plug of the day. Let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching, teaching, and mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I do offer a course, 5 sessions. Each session is between 2 and 3 hours. It's one-on-one in the evening time. You and I via Skype. I teach you everything I've learned over the last 24 years as a full-time trader. I teach you everything I've learned from all my coaches and mentors over the year, and then of course I teach you everything I've developed myself over the years. So it is $1,000. I think it's well worth the money. I think when you're done, you're going to be able to be very confident when you look at the market and how to approach the market, regardless of what it's doing, going up, going down, going sideways. So, if you're interested, I think it's a great investment. I really do. Before we start the lessons, feel free to schedule a free Skype call with me. I just like to learn more about you. I like to learn about your trading, what your challenges have been, what your goals are. Then I'll put together a lesson plan to help you hopefully achieve those goals, right? And then I like, you can ask me any questions just to see if we're a good fit for each other. It's totally free, and there's 100% no obligation. Trust me on that. But I do like to have a little bit of an interview process with potential students just to see if we're going to be a good fit. So the email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter as well. So if you've been thinking about it, this is a good time, and I think you're gonna be very happy with what I teach. And it's pretty intensive. I do first part of each session I teach. The second part I have you teach back what I taught you. We do lots of chart study. I put you on the spot, break down this chart, what's positive, what's negative, what's your risk to reward ratios, all sorts of stuff. So we go through hundreds and hundreds of charts, probably more than that. So, and then if you like today's live stream, if you find it helpful, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. It helps YouTube promote the channel out. There's a lot of people that need help with trading. I get a lot of emails from people that say, man, I just am having a rough time, and it has an effect on my family and my financial life, and I just really need to turn things around. And I think if we could get them to this channel and they could watch it, start to kind of learn how I approach the market, I think it will be really beneficial for them in a lot of different ways. So you can help me help them by hitting the thumbs up button. So that's that. All right. Okay. Hey, Dr. Jorgensen, what's up, my friend? Good hike, beautiful day in the desert, warm sun, off on motorcycle for a short cruise. Talk to you later. Okay, bud, sounds good. Christopher says, had a nice intraday trade on S&P 500. Got in at 32.37 earlier today. Very good, Christopher. Good. I haven't heard much about your trade, so I'm glad to hear that. 32.37. It's 32.52. Very nice, my friend. Alan says, I took BA 332.24 and KMX at 89.37 today. Starting UPro trade today. Oh, really? Interesting. Well, let's put you down for BA at 332.24. $332.24. All right, so we have Alan there. And then KMX. Ooh, KMX did nicely there too. 89.37. So the question, Alan, what's your trading plan? Right? You're in. That's good. You're profitable. But what's your plan? To the upside or downside? Jesse says, going to institute the UPro trade this year. Appreciate these great approaches, Greg and Steve. Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. So remember, UPro's 3 times, Jess. SSO is 2 times, and SPY is 1 time. Bing He says, my target for DRI is 112.28, but now close at 112.26. 2 cents only. I wouldn't mind to take the profit at 212.26, but was not fast enough to cancel, rekeying the order. Oh, I see. Yeah, listen. If I have a profit target and it's 2 cents away, I'm taking that baby. If I'm on the fence about it, I'm taking it, right? Because you're risking 2 cents for it to go all the way down. See what I'm saying? So let me know what happens with that, Bing He. Alan says, ran out of GLD shares today. Thanks for the tip. Oh, good. I'm glad you had gold as well. Dr. Long says, night all. Good night, doctor. Appreciate you coming by. And Man Solo says, Greg, looking forward to our chat tonight. I am as well. That's great. We got 50 people here today. That's fantastic. I think our record before, I think JT said it was 40 or 43 or something like that. So that's great. Thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to get rid of, look at these results on the UPro. It's unbelievable. I mean, 909.7% return on your money since 2009 with a very simple buy at the close, sell at the open. And then here's the SSO. This is, I mean, would anybody not be happy with these results? 25, 15, 12, 14, 29, 21, 20, 20, 24, 24. Unbelievable. I mean, geez, unbelievable. All right, and then Steve, no matter how good you think you can read a chart, without proper risk management, you will eventually blow up. And you are right. Thanks, Steve, for sharing that. Okay. Boy, I have not had so few positions for quite a long time. Well, if anybody has any other questions, want me to take a look at a stock, let me know. You know, Alan, if you're still there, I'd like to know what your plan is for Boeing and CarMax. Remember, it's very important, everybody, you have that plan. No matter where you get in, no matter what happens, what is your plan? So BA moved up nicely for him. But where's the stop? That's what I'd like to know. CarMax, where's the stop on CarMax? By the way, I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Really good. It was really good. I really enjoyed watching that. So Andrea, I know you had thought about watching that too. If you do, I think you'll enjoy it. All righty. Apple 359. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's great. Amazon closed up 50 points. Interesting. I was really interested to see how the market would react the first day of the year, and it has been pretty strong so far, right? So I think a lot of people made new highs for the year today, so congratulations to everybody. Let's see here. And I'm glad Steve had his first profitable overnight trade on UPro. Welcome to the overnight trading club, Steve. Oh, you did watch it. It was pretty good, huh? It was pretty good. I like the music and all the old cars, and yeah, it was good stuff. Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio were good, and the girl, the blonde, I forgot her name, Robbie, I think she was great. Dirk says maybe a stupid question. First of all, there are no stupid questions, Dirk. I have some stocks that I bought before your education. Some of them have nice gains. I guess I need to also have a plan for these buy and hold positions. Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, if your plan is buy and hold, regardless, then that's a plan, right? But yeah, I would think, for me just to have any stock, just to buy it and hold it and not do anything with it, regardless of what it does, would be very foreign to me. So I think it would be a good idea, in my opinion, Dirk, that you have some kind of plan so that if, they're profitable, you don't give all that profit back. If you want me to look at any of those stocks, let me know. Andrew says, I thought it was entertaining, but I found it to be a little too artsy for my taste, but not horrible. Okay. Well, there you go. Different strokes for different folks, right, Andrea? I did like the cars and Brad. Yeah, the girl was something. Yeah, I thought it was good. And I liked at the end. Oh, I guess I don't want to give a spoiler, so never mind. Never mind. What a day, right out of the gate. What a day. 330 points. Oh my gosh. It's incredible. So what did the VIX do today? So the VIX was down another 3%, so I'm glad I did get out of that. But like I said, guys, there is a double bottom with the bullish divergence here. Here we have a low. You can see how deep the MACD bars are. We rallied. Dr. Alexander Elder calls this breaking the back of the bear. And now we've come down. We have a lower low than this previous low, but even though we're lower than here, we don't have any red MACD bars. And if we even want to get deeper into it, so this is called the double bottom with the bullish MACD divergence. Let's take a look. We also see the low here. This is where the RSI level was at this low. Now we are lower than this low, and this RSI level is higher. So we have a double bottom with the bullish MACD divergence. We have a bullish RSI divergence, and we have a bullish ATR divergence. See here, this previous low, see how we were just on the bottom side of the negative third ATR channel? See, now we're lower, but we haven't reached the third ATR channel, right? So on this day back here on the 20th, we have a low, and that low touched the negative third ATR channel. Now we are lower than that, but we are above the third ATR channel. So we have a double bottom with a bullish MACD divergence. We have an RSI divergence, and we also have a ATR divergence. So does that mean go ahead and pile in? No, it doesn't. You need a trigger, but the setup is here. Now you need a trigger. For me, a trigger would be under 30, over 30. If we had a V2 tomorrow, I wouldn't take it because this day one bar is much too large. And MACD is still positive. And if we go over to VIX, the VIX index, okay, so it just kissed. This is what I was talking about. So we never did get the 1030 EMA crossover. So it just kissed and came back down. So should be interesting. Should be interesting. Mr. Clarence Speaks. Jesse says, if anyone looking at TrendSpider, they have a 40% off through midnight tonight. They're also coming out with a scanning feature. Their back test is great. I use it. No kickbacks, just FYI. Oh, that's good to know. I'm glad I hear a lot of good things about TrendSpider from Steve and Christopher Yule, and now from Jesse. So they have a 40% off through midnight tonight. That's pretty good. That is pretty good, guys. Thanks for letting us know, Jess. Boy, I'm glad to see Bing He having that nice trade there. Really glad to see that. All right, everybody. Well, listen, if you have any other questions, please let me know. In the meantime, I'm start saying goodbye to everybody. Clarence Speaks. Jesse, thanks for coming, my friend. Appreciate you coming here today. Andrea, nice to see you. As always, thank you for coming back and visiting. Let me know if you have any trades. Like to follow those. Dirk, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Man Solo, looking forward to our lesson tonight, buddy. And I'll talk to you in a few hours, right? Dr. Long, good to see you. Alan Bailey, good to see you. Nice job on your gold trade. Bing He, really happy for you, Bing He. That's our friends from Singapore. Really happy for you for the DRI trade. Excellent. And let me know tomorrow what you've done with that. Christopher Hitchin, really nice trade. Good to see you. Hope you have a good evening in the UK. Dr. Jorgensen, good seeing you. Evan, good to see you, bud. And we're tracking your trades. So make sure you manage them because we've got these babies on the radar, right? Hassan, nice to see you. Appreciate you coming. Joshua Kaufman, thank you for coming. Good seeing you. Bill Richardson, thank you. Nice seeing you. David from Denver. I don't know if you're back from Columbia, but if you are, I hope you had a nice trip. Mount Doji, good to see you, my friend. Let's see. Of course, Steve Burns, appreciate you coming, Steve. Always an honor to have you here, and thanks for sharing with us your back test on the U-Pro and the SSO, and really nice trades today. I'm glad. Looks like you've made a all-time or a yearly high today, right out of the gate. So that's fantastic. Kurt, good seeing you, bud. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good New Year's Eve, and keep in touch. Let me know what's going on with your trades. JT, always great to say JT today, and hope you're doing well. And let's take a look here. Think. Oh, and Marco. Marco always hides up there at the top. He says hello, then I don't hear from him. So good to see you, Marco. Listen, if there's anything I can help you with, sir, you let me know, okay? I appreciate you being here. I really, really do. Chris Knight, thank you for coming. And I hope you keep coming back. And I think that is it. Bing He says thanks. You are welcome. Bing He was due. Bing He was due. All right. Well, if you have any other questions, or want me to take a look at any other symbols, anything like that, please just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. go for a hike with Katie, and then get ready for my lesson tonight with a man solo. Looking forward to that for sure. All right. Last chance, going. All right. Well, that looks like it's it for today, and thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Been a great start to the first trading day of the year. Let's make a plan for the year. Let's follow that plan. Let's get into the good habit of following our process, and not letting our emotions get the best of us. Right? Let's just make that plan, follow it, come what may. Be disciplined. That is what's going to, in the long run, be the difference whether you're a long-term profitable trader or not. So, two things before we go. One, please make sure you go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just a wave or a smile or hold the door open or just be pleasant. You may make a dramatic difference in their day, even with the smallest little gesture, and that may go on and change their whole day. So it's free, right? Can we just do it? Just one little thing, one nice little gesture every day. That's all I ask. And two, on the way out, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, I would really appreciate it on the way out. So, all right. Well, that looks like it's it for today. So thank you all for coming. Have a good rest of your day. Do something nice for somebody. Hit the thumbs up button. And I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow during the last hour of the trading day. Okay, take care, everyone, now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.